Hey there. Welcome to K-Drama Cuts, where we discuss K-dramas in 15 minutes or less. In this video, we will feature an apocalyptic zombie drama called All of Us Are Dead. Spoilers ahead. Watch the video and enjoy. Bullies always preyed on a student called Jin-soo from Yosan High School. As a result, Jin-soo's father, Byung-chan, a high school biology teacher, devised a virus that would give Jin-soo extraordinary strength against his bullies. The end effect, however, was not expected. On one rainy night with his bullies, Jin-soo appeared to have transformed into a zombie. The bullies evaded Jin-soo's attack and tossed him off the rooftop. Byung-chan went to get his son at the hospital and chained him up with his wife bitten by Jin-soo. The next day, Byung-chan witnessed a girl get bitten by a virus-infected lab rat that he keeps. He restrained the girl inside the lab's interior room until she escaped. She was rushed to a nearby hospital. However, she had passed the virus to the infirmary doctor after biting her earlier. As the infirmary doctor turned into a zombie, the spread began. After finding out that his captive had escaped, Byung-chan demanded returning him the student and that she wasn't allowed to go anywhere else. But no one listened to him, and he was taken to the police for questioning. As students and school staff turned rapidly one by one, childhood friends, Chung-san and An-jo, took refuge in their unaffected classroom. They found a few of their classmates, namely, An-jo's best friend Isak, Chung-san's best friend Kyung-soo, Class 2-5 President Namra, delinquent student Soo-hyuk, Na-yeon, Dae-soo and his friend Woo-jin, Jun-young, Ji-min, Yor-yong, and Min-ji. Meanwhile, the school archery team has returned to campus only to witness zombies running around. The students at Class 2-5 were safe for a few minutes until a teacher who later turned out to be infected entered the room and attacked Min-ji. The students fled to the damaged science lab without Soo-hyuk. This time, they lost Isak as she turned. They couldn't hold off the zombies any longer, so Chung-san made a plan of using the fire hose to rappel down to another safe room. From this, they reached the broadcasting room, where their homeroom teacher, Ms. Park, is in. Soo-hyuk found the others as well, and they all evacuated to the same room. They were trying to find out why rescue wasn't coming when a zombie had reached them. While fighting with the zombie, Kyung-soo was hit by Soo-hyuk and obtained a scratch on his hand. Na-yeon accused Kyung-soo was bitten by the zombie as his nose bled. Although almost everyone argued the other way, they isolated Kyung-soo at the recording room, agreeing for 10 minutes. After 30 minutes, Kyung-soo won't come out even though he didn't turn. Ms. Park insisted Na-yeon to apologize to Kyung-soo. But instead of apologizing, Na-yeon purposely wiped Kyung-soo's wound with her handkerchief stained with the zombie's blood. Kyung-soo started to feel strange, so he decided to leave the broadcasting room immediately. However, he turned before doing so. He attacked the others until Chung-san lured him out the window. Namra confronted Na-yeon after realizing what she did to Kyung-soo. After confirming evidence, Na-yeon left the room in tears. Ms. Park dashed after Na-yeon, saving her from the zombies until she turned. At the police station, Byung-chan confessed to having created what he called the Jonas virus in an attempt to help his son. He was guilty of what he's done. He told the detective, Jae-ik, about his laptop at the school's science lab, which contained all the necessary data for his virus study. After this, the zombies swarmed the police station. Byung-chan sacrificed himself to let the detective escape. The authorities put up barricades around the affected areas to restrict entry. This made Chung-san's worried mother go the other route to enter the school. She found Kyung-soo wandering in the field and asked for her son. At that moment, Kyung-soo attacked her together with a whole lot of zombies. The archery team had two survivors, Woo-jin's older sister, Hari, and Min-jae. They have joined two other senior students, Mi-jin and Jun-sung, in the bathroom. They intend to get out of the building as there seem to be no rescuers. Meanwhile, the Class 2-5 students had no means of communication after the computer was used to fight the zombie. So Chung-san and Soo-hyuk volunteered to get a phone at the zombie-filled teacher's office. After obtaining a functioning handphone, Chung-san was separated from Soo-hyuk, who returned to his classmates alone. Chung-san entered the principal's office to hide but was stunned to see Gui-nam, a member of the bullies, use a knife on the principal. Chung-san threatened Gui-nam by filming him for the police, but Gui-nam obstinately killed the principal. Gui-nam wanted the phone, but Chung-san fled the room. Gui-nam chased Chung-san to the infested library where Chung-san bashed Gui-nam's left eye using the phone. Their brawl led Gui-nam to be bitten by the zombies. The government declared martial law on the city of Yosan. Thus, all forms of communication originating in the area were terminated. As Chung-san still hasn't returned, An-jo and Jun-young came up with the idea of retrieving Jun-young's drone at the science lab. With this, they found Chung San safe in the music room. They also scanned around the area to see the extent of the damage. This is when Jimin recognized a truck and identified the zombies inside to be her parents. Jo's firefighter father, So-ju, with his team, rescued Yosin's assemblywoman, Park Yoon-hee, and other survivors. A helicopter brought them to a military quarantine camp. They were locked in a room together, which bothered So-ju as he planned to rescue her daughter. As some soldiers entered their room, So-ju took the opportunity to escape. Meanwhile, Jae-ik, now with her junior colleague, Ho-chul, sought refuge in a chicken place owned by Chung San's family. Inside was a student-turned-zombie tied at the door. They then caught sight of a newborn baby. Back at the school, the students planned to rescue Chung San and head to the roof. They instructed Chung San to stay where he is through the broadcasting system. They noticed how the zombies were attracted to sounds, so they played music using speakers placed only on the right side of each floor. This gave them a clear passage to get to the music room, except for one zombie right in front. As the others ran, Soo-hyuk stayed behind to fight the zombie. Soo-hyuk tried to catch up, but the zombie followed him until Gui-nam came and saved him. Gui-nam, gripping the knife in his hand, demanded Chung San's location, which Soo-hyuk didn't answer. The irritated Gui-nam retaliated with a vicious brawl. Namra saw them and intervened until Gui-nam bit her. Soo-hyuk then pushed him out the window, and the two proceeded to the rest. Hyo-ryung noticed a bite mark on Namra's arm and asked where she got it from. Soo-hyuk defended that it was from Gui-nam, who isn't a zombie. However, Chung San argued the opposite as he witnessed the zombies swarm Gui-nam after fighting with him. The two boys quarreled whether to kick Namra out until Namra vowed to jump off in case she turned. Soo-hyuk joined Namra by the window. A little later, Namra felt the urge to bite Soo-hyuk's neck. Chung San immediately struck Namra only to be caught by Soo-hyuk. The classmates then realized that Namra didn't bite Soo-hyuk. This made Jo wonder and asked Chung San and Soo-hyuk to reconfirm their encounters with Gui-nam. She concluded that Gui-nam was bitten but not affected, thus immune to the virus. She suggested that Namra is the same as she was infected by Gui-nam. It coined the term half-bee, which meant half human and half zombie. However, Jimin felt uneasy that Namra could infect any of them. Namra offered to leave but Jo disagreed. Soo-hyuk was eager to defend Namra, so he tied Namra's hand with his to satisfy their worries. While waiting for their next move, Soo-hyuk confessed to having a crush on Namra, to which Namra reciprocated. The boys on the other side failed to open the locked interior room, which contained donated food and beverages. Unknown to everyone, Na-yeon locked herself inside to hide from the zombies. Even though she wanted to come out after realizing their hunger, she was reminded of her betrayal. The high school seniors battled their way to the deserted archery training center, but Jun Sung was severely hurt. They stayed there for a while to plan their next move. Meanwhile, Jae-ik and Ho-chul were about to leave with the baby when they encountered another uninfected child. They retreated back to the chicken place and went again more safely. They drove along the infested streets using a motorcycle. Chung San discovered a videocam earlier containing a recorded video of the school choir singing. Jo told them that they could use it to do as they did earlier. They created an obstruction and connected the music to the television. They made loud noises to attract more zombies. The corridors were now empty, so they made their way to the rooftop only to find the door shut close. A student, Chol-soo, also a bullying victim, had ignored their banging to save only himself as a helicopter came for rescue. The zombies were now piling up the students' way, and Gui-nam, who fell 4 stories earlier, had also reached them. Namra, in her half-zombified state, fought him off. The door opened suddenly after detecting fire, but the students saw the helicopter already leaving. Jae-ik and Ho-chul with the kids were on the way when they spotted a survivor stuck on a roof. While Jae-ik was rescuing the guy, Ho-chul left with the kids. When Jae-ik thought Ho-chul left him for good, a bus driven by Ho-chul arrived. They escaped altogether from the zombies that had gathered. A few hours later, they collided with Yoon-ji, a bullying victim like Chol-soo and Jin-soo, responsible for the small fire at the school. Unknown to them, Yoon-ji was also a half-bee, the reason why she didn't obtain injuries from the crash. The military then came and picked them up, identified as survivors. After arriving at the quarantine camp, Jae-ik informed those in charge about Byung-chan's laptop. The military commander ordered a retrieval operation and sent a helicopter. While her classmates were at the rooftop having a campfire, Na-yeon gathered her courage and decided to bring them food. She was about to leave the room when Gui-nam showed up and killed her. Half-bees exhibit heightened senses of hearing and smell, so Gui-nam knew that the others had left for the rooftop. He proceeded to the rooftop by climbing up the pipe. He tried to kill Chung-san but failed after Namra threw him off the rooftop. Later, the helicopter arrived, which gave the students great relief. They were checked to see if they were infected and were told to wait before the laptop was successfully retrieved. They were about to be pulled when the soldiers received order to abandon the students. This is because of Yoonji's asymptomatic case. She turned into her half-zombified state and infected Chol-soo at the quarantine camp. As the helicopter left, it began raining with thunders which impaired the zombies' vision and hearing. Both surviving groups, the Class 2-5 students and the seniors, have noticed this and began fleeing to the mountain. As they went outside, Chung-san was shocked to see his mother, now a zombie. He wanted to stay for his mother until the others dragged him away. They lost each other and were scattered. Along the way, Yor-young tripped and fell. Jimin left her, however headed the wrong way where the zombies attacked her. Hari was reunited with her brother, Woo-jin, helping Yor-young get up. Eventually, all survivors from both groups found each other and they all proceeded to the auditorium. Namra had sensed the zombies near them through her abilities. She ordered everyone to run to the equipment room, so they did. Jun-sung, who was injured, sacrificed himself to stall the zombies. They all entered the room safely except for Min-jae, who got separated from them and got killed by Gui-nam. They grieved for everyone they had lost that night. The following day, they bonded and shared a chocolate bar Chung-san found. Dae-soo ate what he thought was the last piece until they told him that Jun-young hadn't taken his share. Soo-hyuk came up with a plan of connecting the metal carts to create a closed barricade. They went out with the barricade and battled with the zombies. Jun-young was caught, so he vacated the circle and distracted the zombies while turning. They reached the door, which was chained locked from the outside. The door suddenly opened, and An-jo saw his father. They proceeded to the tennis court, where the zombies followed them. So-ju distracted the zombies using hand flares and a whistle as the students headed out the court. Instead of coming with them, So-ju sacrificed himself. Chung-san and Soo-hyuk dragged An-jo, distraught from her father's action. They came across a construction site and hit at the building's unfinished balcony. Namra felt a stronger urge to bite her friends, but she bit her arm instead, trying to fight it. Soo-hyuk calmed her down and told her to bite him if she needed to. The scientists and military at the quarantine camp analyzed the data from Byung-chan's laptop. The epidemic was so destructive that the experts suggested it could easily affect the whole country. The military commander decided to bomb the entire city of Yosan. They have observed that the zombies are attracted to sounds, precisely at 24 kHz. So they deployed drones to gather the zombies to designated bombing points. They warned Yosan survivors if there were any to take cover underground from the bombing about to take place. Namra overheard this announcement with her sharp hearing, and everyone was alarmed. By then, Gui-nam had found them again. He only wanted to take his revenge on Chung-san, so they fought. Chung-san ended up bitten by Gui-nam. Drones arrived at the school field, and the sound from these impaired Gui-nam and Namra as well. Chung-san took this chance to push Gui-nam off the platform. An-jo affirmed Chung-san and told him that he'd be fine like Namra. But Chung-san assumed the opposite. With sorrow, he kissed An-jo, who he had feelings for in a long time. An-jo didn't want to let him go, but Chung-san insisted. He led the zombies upstairs to let his friends escape. Gui-nam returned inside the building and hunted Chung-san, who just got rid of the zombies. Gui-nam blinded Chung-san's left eye as revenge. The bombings around the city have started one by one. This reached the two rivals' place, which led to their death. The students made it to an abandoned neighborhood. Namra sensed zombies nearby, so they ran. Dae-soo obtained a leg injury earlier, and it has slowed them down. From this, they waited for the zombies and killed them. Woo-jin was bitten after saving her sister. Mi-jin was about to kill him, but Hari denied her. Namra stood forward and ended Woo-jin's life. As they went on their way, Namra finally craved to bite someone. So she left the others and went another way. An-jo and Soo-hyuk looked for her immediately after they noticed. They found Namra feeding on a dead zombie. She demanded An-jo and Soo-hyuk to go and leave her, but they ignored her. Namra became zombified and attacked An-jo. Namra was able to fight her urge and ran away, never to be found. At Byung-chan's house, his son and his infected wife were chained up in a room, still alive. The government officials took them into custody. The now 6 survivors encountered a military rescue team and were brought to the quarantine camp. Right after the bombings, the military commander had committed suicide because of his guilt. After 3 months, martial law ended, and people got out of their quarantine rooms. The 6 students sneaked out of the quarantine camp to visit their school. They saw a bonfire lit at the rooftop, which made them guess it was Namra. Namra showed up. Her left eye is healed, her transformation was complete, And she completely looked as she was before the epidemic. She told them that there were others like her and she couldn't join them as there were things left to do. Just like that, Namra jumped off the rooftop and left with joy. To help this channel grow, please like this video and subscribe. Hit the notification bell to be updated for the next upload. See you. Stay safe.